So, welcome to Venice. I think that I already checked that for many of yours, it's not the first time. For someone is the second, even the third time, and so on. So I'm very happy to see so many faces that are familiar to me since many years. So I don't want to list you all, but I'm so happy. It's like a family gathering. So we are very happy to host this 11th edition of the CESRAN conference that became, along the years, a well-established international conference. So it became one of the main academic events on global studies. So formerly known as IEPAS, it was challenging to know what it is. No, CESRAN conference, it's easier. So it changed the name, but it's the same conference, so it's the 11th edition. And it's likely to be, also the next edition is likely to be held here in Venice. And afterwards, who knows, we will move. It becomes a rotating conference. So first of all, I'd like to thank Professor Luís Tomé from UAL, Universidade Autónoma de Lisboa, for being here and for having hosted or organized the previous conferences in Lisbon since 2019. It was the first conference, the CESRAN conference I participated, IEPAS conference at that time. So I met the CESRAN leadership for the first time in 2019. Since then I participated every year, and finally last year, unfortunately, they asked me to move the conference just to change, because we're always well organized in Lisbon, but sometimes it's good to move, to change. And so that's why we moved to Venice. That's also, like in Lisbon, it's a good opportunity for making some tourism. Once you are here, take benefit of your stay here in Venice for visiting the city, this iconic city, So we are hosted here for today, for the first day, the opening session, and the first day sessions in this ancient Nobilian palace from the 18th century, because the city center of Venice belongs to that, the 18th and 17th century. So in this room, you can check there's a dedicated page on the website of Foscari University. Here were allocated paintings from Canaletto, very famous Italian painter that actually they were moved, and I think they are in the Vatican City, like many other things, paintings and so on in Rome. So you can't observe them, but they were here in this room. And for the next 2 days, we will move to the department, that is my department, that is the Department of Philosophy and Cultural Heritage, because it sounds bizarre, but here at Ca' Foscari University, there is not a department of political science. So I'm alone in this department, and my colleague Carlo Frappi, who is the co-organizer along with me of this edition of the conference, is another displaced scholar in another department, because we do not have a department of political science, even if we are political scientists. So it's something that is tricky somehow. And so we will move tomorrow and for the third day to the department for the parallel sessions, but it's just right the corner. Okay, just around the corner. So it's just 5 minutes walking. I'm sorry that in Venice, as someone has already discovered, GPS and Google Maps, they do not work at all. So do not rely on Google, because I tried so hard in the previous years. I was always in front of the water. So do not rely on this, okay? But we are very near from the main station, and you can't lose yourself, but ask us if you need something, okay? So we will lose together. And so we have also to thank for this edition, of course, the Department of Philosophy and Cultural Heritage of the university, which supported the organization of the conference, and both the academic staff and the administrative staff. Also thanks to the university, of course, for having permitted us to hold this first day in this beautiful and ancient palace and this great room. And we also have to thank our partners, because this edition of the CESRAN conference for the first time joins a kind of international network we are trying to establish also for making of this conference a rotating conference, because it's so hard to organize a conference. I mean, we are proud to be in charge of the organizing committee, but it's a heavy burden, you know, because you have to take care of everything. So for a couple of months, not weeks, months, I was reached out by Professor Rahman Dag with questions about the coffee breaks. So I mean, you have to take care of every single detail, because devil is in details, so I understand the coffee break is also important. So this is, we are proud to be in charge of the organizing committee, but it's a big load of work. So it's likely that the next editions will be rotating in other countries, especially between the countries of the university institutions that joined us in this experiment for the first year of establishing this international network. So I'm very happy to see many familiar faces, many friends also, not just colleagues, from the Tbilisi State University. The delegation, I can say that the delegation is headed by Professor Salome Dundua, who is the head of the Department of Political Science at Tbilisi State University. So there are so much Georgians here this year. I'm so happy to see you here. And I hope that one of the next editions maybe will be organized in Tbilisi. Georgia is a beautiful country. So we have also Polish partners, a Polish university, which partnered with us this year. So our Polish friends are not here with us this year, but they organized a panel. So they will chair and they organize a panel, and we have also other institutions in Poland that are interested in joining us for the next, since the next edition. Also Taltech University of Tallinn in Estonia. I can say it's somehow represented by Eric Shirev, who actually arrived from the United States with other two colleagues, but cooperates with our close friends from Taltech University, University of Technology in Tallinn. And of course, the main partner, historical partner, is the Autonomous University of Lisbon, and Observare, that is an observatory itself of the WAL, Observatory on Political Science and International Relations, with also very impactful publications. So this is another point of the conference, that you have the opportunity for publishing if you want. You are not obliged, of course, but you have the opportunity for submitting a full paper, or for publication with the WAL flagship publication, or with the flagship publication scientific journal of CESRAN, that is the rest. So you have different opportunities. For next edition, hopefully we will be able to give you the opportunity for submitting a full paper to be published in a thematic book with the proceeding on the conference, but we are sorry that for this time was not possible. So if you are inquirers, please, during the conference, for whatever you need, come to me or to my colleague Carlo Frappi, of course. Better to go to Carlo Frappi. And for other inquiries, you can ask, now I will pass the floor to our colleagues, to Professor Ozgur Tufekci, who is the leader of a CESRAN organization, jointly together with Professor Rahman Dag, who are the co-chairs of the scientific, members of the scientific committee. So thanks very much for being here with us. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Quite easy to have a welcoming speech after the comprehensive speech just gave by Marco. So welcome again to Venice, welcome again to Ca' Foscari University. I'm particularly happy Ca' Foscari is hosting the 11th annual conference on international studies of CESRAN. I think we will have 3 very intensive and stimulating days. I think it's particularly important as I think, actually I'm sure, we will get much food for thought. We will get many inputs from very different disciplinary perspective, both at macro and micro level, which may help us to understand the complex trends of, let me quote the historian Adam Tooze when he was saying, we are going through a polycrisis. In order to try to understand the very complex trends of the polycrisis we are going through, I guess this conference is very timely and will be very important. I don't want to steal too much time to the conference, so let me again welcome you in Venice and in Foscari, and of course I'm available for anything you may need from a logistical point of view, but don't worry, I mean, getting lost in Venice, it's one of the best ways to enjoy and discover the city, and we still get lost. So welcome again, and I wish you good work.
Dear all, thank you for joining us. It will be a bit of repetitive, actually, but you know, I need to say something about opening speech, opening session. I welcome you to CESRAN2024, the 11th annual conference on international studies. This year, we are here at Foscari University. It is a fascinating university. It's a fascinating building. I'm thankful to our partnership for Professor Marco Marsili and Professor Carlo Frappi. They are a good friend of us, and they are doing their best to organize such an conference over here. And also, I should give my thanks to Professor Luis Tome from Autonomous University of Lisbon and Observare. We organized the fourth of the version of this conference in Lisbon previously. And right now we are here. As Marco mentioned that, we don't know actually next year. We'll see that. Yeah. So I should mention our honorary president of CESRAN International, Kambut, Professor Kambut. Unfortunately, he is not here right now, but he will be with us online, actually. And he will moderate the session in conversation with Jana Pugliarin over here. And I should express my thanks to the conference partners, other partners, Ivana Shakashvili, Tbilisi State University, from Georgia, Ibn Haldun University from Turkey, Tallinn University of Technology from Estonia, Research Center in Political Science from Portugal, and the Jacobo Pardies University from Poland. This year, the conference covers a wide array of topics. We will have 140 participants and 117 presentations, 2 keynote speeches, and an in-conversation panel, and also a book discussion panel will be moderated by Professor Rahman Da. In that sense, me and Professor Rahman Da, Deputy Director General of CESRAN International, would like to thank all of the participants for their tremendous support and contribution to CESRAN 2024. Without your participation, without your support, we couldn't put together such a conference. That is the true thing. Let me wish all participants to enjoy the conference and hope to see you next year at CESRAN 2025. That's all, thank you. And yeah, one
so
more thing.
we have a proposal, if you don't mind. We must take, we are obliged to take, it's mandatory, a family picture here. So we can come all, you can stand up, come here, we come there also, and we take a family picture together that will be shared on the website.